Now I'm going to go and open the attendance log. Estoy abriendo el attendance log para ver las preguntas que tienen. Y déjenme decirle que muchas preguntas estaban muy buenas. Hubo muchas preguntas que it was clear that people did not watch the workshop and you have not done your part. Pero there was people that did it. Yes, awesome, yay. Okay, entonces, este es el attendance log, donde todos los que estamos en el bootcamp vamos a estar logging our attendance. Why? For one, is because this bootcamp is for accountability. This is not for me to reinvent the wheel and do another workshop. No, you're going to watch the workshop on your own, and then you're going to come back and, like today, we're going to discuss every step of the process. We discuss evidence right now. Next week, we're going to be discussing translations and so on and so forth, right? Step by step, okay? So el attendance log is for accountability. So you have to do your part to stay on this bootcamp and to get to the end, because in the end, we're going to have a Zoom call where we're going to be able to, everybody just like the people that want to join will be able to join, and we're going to be discussing more like back and forth type of thing. But I am not going to allow everybody to get to that point. Why? Because not everybody deserves it, okay? Yo estoy poniendo aquí mi tiempo, ¿ya? Mis resources, en vez de estar haciendo otras cosas. Estoy aquí con ustedes. I am determined with you if you are determined to do your process. So for me, this part first is about accountability and just holding everybody accountable to doing their part. And then the second thing is that que tres personas todas las personas que estén presentes durante todas las semanas, bueno, voy a ponerle aunque sea 90% or something. Like, si hacen miss one of the logging, that's fine, but it's one, okay? So the people that are keeping up with this and only had one absence, todos esos los voy a poner en un batch y voy a sacar 3 personas. Y esas 3 personas les voy a dar la oportunidad de yo, Belén y Suri asistirles en revisar su paquete. Una vez que ya esté terminado, nos lo van a mandar por correo electrónico, por email. We're going to scan it. And I'm going to help review and check that, you know, that it looks solid, that it looks good, because I know a lot of people are going to be wanting that. And so it's a really amazing opportunity to be one of those 3 people, porque yo sé que, pues, para checar, ¿verdad? Que todo esté matching and just be like another set of eyes to help. But it's going to, obviously, we cannot do it for everybody. It's going to be for 3 people, and the 3 people that are going to be on that drawing, so van a estar chosen at random y van a ser de las personas que hayan hecho logs to attendance. Okay? So definitely, those are the 3 reasons you should be logging it. Y también porque towards the end, les digo, voy a tener un Zoom donde vamos a entrar todos y tratar de conversar y tratar de hablar acerca de lo que, see if you have any type of doubts, we can definitely check them while we're doing our paperwork and stuff like that. So it's going to be towards the end, but I am not going to allow everybody who's just cruising by to be part of it if you're not putting your attendance, okay? So accountability first. This is what the spreadsheet is for, okay? Pónganme en los comentarios if that makes sense about the attendance log. Okay, les quiero demostrar esto. Miren estas tabs de abajo. Yo no sé por qué me agregan tabs aquí. Les quiero mencionar esto porque no hay necesidad de make extra tabs. I'm going to go ahead and delete them. Delete. Yo les estoy poniendo una week donde van a agregar su attendance. So esta fue la semana pasada. Una vez que está el log, ya no la pueden mover. Okay? So this is week 2, and that's going to be the first one you go into. On your assignments tab, en tu assignment que ya les puse en el WhatsApp Bootcamp Group, ahí tienen siempre en esa página donde dice el botoncito click here to log your attendance. Click it there and it's going to send you straight here. La gente que está confundida de que, it doesn't let me type, you gotta be logged into your Gmail. Por eso no te deja type. Okay, so you gotta be, like, por ejemplo, aquí, miran ¿cómo se llama? Icon de mi perfil, de mi profile. That's because I'm logged in. So you have to be logged in. If not, it's not going to let you. So I'm going over this, and I know it's like super common sense to most people, but I want people to know how to log their time because it's important that you log your time. After people miss their attendance for 2 weeks in a row, I'm going to be removing them from the bootcamp. Why am I going to do this? One, to pressure you guys, porque si no es con tokens of like the giveaway, the raffle que quiero hacer, si eso no te motiva, te va a motivar acá por el otro lado de que ya no vas a poder ser parte si es que no estás keeping up with the participation, okay? So es uno o el otro te tiene que motivar. ¿Por qué? Porque no se trata de tener chingo de gente en, chingo de seats. You guys, if you haven't noticed, I'm not about numbers, I am about quality. So I want the people that are truly committed to be able to be the ones that take advantage of the resources, of the time that we're putting into this. If you're not committed to doing it, that's fine, because it's not the good for you, okay? So if you miss 2 weeks without putting your, logging your time, I'm going to be removing those people because they're just empty seats, Yes? On the phone, you can do it, but it's obviously easier on the computer. Guys, si no se han dado cuenta, va a ser muy importante para su Advance Parole process que tengan access to a computer cuando hacen las forms. So you definitely are going to need access to a computer at some point, okay? Along in the attendance, you can do it from your phone. You're just going to have to download the Google Sheets. Google Sheets es el que tiene esta Sheets. Es una aplicación de Google. So you can do it like that, but if you do it on the computer, it's so much better porque así no me están aquí poniendo como extra sheets. Okay, so let's go over. So thank you for those that are already doing their thing. They already have their evidence. Yay, awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to week 1. Let me see if I have any comments. No me sale esta página para poner mi asistencia de esta semana. Lo que vas a poder poner asistencia va a ser de week 2. La demás está locked. You can no longer log it. You have missed the ship. Okay. 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 Yes. Yes, fair to everyone. Yes. Okay, sí, porque es lo que quería. Obviamente, yo quiero poner tiempo. I want people to get to the finish line, but I want to be able to help those who actually are participating, porque si no, de nada me sirve a mí. Otra cosa, en la week 2, mira, ya me agregaron otra sheet. No están agregando sheet, chingada. Delete. Solamente puedes usar week 1 o week 2. Y week 1 ya la hacer eso. Add it on week 2. Week 2. Read the top. The top dice, ¿qué nombre usas en WhatsApp? The date of the assignment que completaste los tres días. Si ya tienes tu evidencia, tú le pones que ya hiciste la evidencia. Tú pones ahí tus notas. Y esto es para ti, es tu accountability. I trust your word. You're the one that's benefiting from it. I just want you to participate. So this is my way of checking your participation. Okay. Preguntas, questions regarding evidence or translations, because that's what I'm going to be covering next week, right? Next week, I'm going to be checking the questions que salieron de esta semana y las questions que vienen para translations. So, do that. En la semana pasada les dije, pongan el data of assignments y las preguntas. So, I'm going to go ahead and go this way. Déjenme les enseño otra cosa. Cuando están poniendo mucho por escrito, let me put it on this one, ¿verdad? Si están así, ¿cómo le hago? Ok, ¿miran cómo se va? ¿Miran cómo se va? Ok, si tú escribes mucho, una súper fácil cosa que puedes hacer, le vas a poner aquí donde hace break, aquí está el cursor, y le vas a poner, me parece que es Alt, o Option si tienes Mac, Alt y Return, Enter. So el Alt y el Enter te lo pone en la misma, y así no tienes que, ¿verdad? Porque hay gente que se le dificulta escribir tanto porque no lo pueden ver. Don't worry. All you have to do is Alt, Enter. Alt, Enter. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that para la gente que yo sé que a uno les gusta expresarse mucho. Ok. Aquí no necesidad de poner los nombres, pero we can go ahead and start. Bianca, si no te deja, obviamente está abierta porque ya miro muchas personas aquí. Obviamente está abierta esta. Si no te deja a ti, es porque no estás logged in o no tienes el Sheets. Google Sheets. So you gotta download the app. Okay. Finish the workshop. Okay, so esta dice, my great-grandmother's evaluation letter is from September 2022. Will that work? Should I get a new one? You need a new one. Can I send my advance parole with just one copy of my DACA approval? I have not received the card yet. You can definitely send it with your approval. Si ya lo mandaste, ya te aprobaron, go ahead and send that. My grandma is 100 years old, and during that time, they have no birth certificate, just baptism certificate. If you have the baptism certificate, go ahead and send that. That's your evidence, and you're going to explain that. Chicos, el birth certificate es una opción, pero no es la única. Como esto, obviamente, lo puedes explicar. She's 100 years old, no tenían en tu área donde vivías, lo explicas, pero tienes el birth certificate de esta, si te pueden hacer una carta o algo así que puedes notariar, también te ayuda. O sea, get creative because you don't have the birth certificate to prove that she's your actual grandma. Or if you can get the birth certificate of your mom, por ejemplo, si tú, perdón, estoy diciendo grandma y es grandpa. So, si tú vas a ir a visitar a tu grandpa y el birth certificate de él no lo tienes, pero el de tu mamá sí lo tienes o el de tu papá y tiene el nombre de él, con eso tú también puedes demostrar, ¿verdad? That's your mom's dad. And your mom is in your birth certificate, so that puts the chain en la cadenita, okay? So get creative, you have two options. Y recuerden, chicos, yo no soy abogada y esto no es asistencia legal, ¿ok? Es nada más diciéndoles lo que yo pienso basado en una mi aplicación y la de las personas que me platican, muchos que me platican. But this is not legal advice. Ustedes hacen lo que a ustedes les convenga. Yo solo les puedo platicar a calzón quitado lo que yo sé, lo que he aprendido y ya ustedes, ¿verdad? Consideran lo que quieran. Estoy leyendo los comments en mi otra computadora porque aquí ya no me sale. Okay, the other thing. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Yes, you can see the screen. Okay, awesome. Great. Thank you for answering, guys, porque a veces no sé si está jalando o no está jalando esta cosa. La otra cosa es, si todavía no me están siguiendo en YouTube, guys, go ahead and subscribe. That's like the least you can do. Like, honestly, ya les voy a decir, Chile, that's the least you can do. Like, support your girl so your girl can continue motivating others, continue educating others, and like sharing, you know, the stuff that I can share. Ese es tu granito de arena. Si tú conoces otro DACA recipient, si tú conoces otro dreamer, go ahead and send them my information, porque lo único que quiero es poder que nuestra comunidad crezca, porque entre más somos, más poder tenemos como comunidad, y más unidos estamos, más personas haciendo Advance Parole, más personas compartiendo su timeline, más personas, o sea, todo eso, un granito de arena que tú pongas, esto te toca a ti como participante, okay? So definitely subscribe to the YouTube and share as much as you can. Aquí dice, mom's birth certificate says that she's male. I think that's not every, okay. Would that be an issue or should I translate? I also tried to look for her PC on Mex Gobierno website of her information, nowhere to be found. I was able to get the birth certificates needed except for hers. In the meantime, my grandmother in Mexico will see if she can get to her. I don't think that will be an issue because they used to have a lot of problems. I mean, con typos on their last names or typos on their first names. And I have seen people get approved with that. You just have to explain it, right? Like there's a typo on hers, but that's my mom or whatever. It should not be like, actually it happens more than it should, but I don't think it would be. But if you can get one and you want to do that, that's also another option. If you want your grandma to help and all that stuff. Okay, aquí dice, if I want to do it to get LASIK, what is the info I need from the office from the other country? Also, how do you all know what doctor's office to use from another country? We don't know. You would know. You would find out. You would do your research. You're the one that's trying to do LASIK surgery, so you have to get the quote from here and you have to get the quote from over there. Obviously, that's like a harder one. You have to call a lot of offices and you have to figure it out. I find it scary to go to Mexico and any other country in general. Yes, it's definitely scary, and you have to figure that out because even like the doctor, like I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, you should go to this doctor. That's not the way it goes. Okay, You have to do your research, get online, do your part, find your evidence, call the officers and ask them for a quote. Let them know, like, okay, I went to get the, por ejemplo, lo que yo haría si yo fuera la persona que necesitara la ISEC, fuera aquí, que me hagan todos esos rayos X, que me hagan todo el menjurje, que me den la quote, and then I would call some, like the offices over there, a ver quién puede atenderme así virtualmente, pagar la consulta, kind of like how Belén did, that you pay the consultation, and then I would tell them, can I email you mis lo que me dieron aquí del eye doctor? So you would fax it to them so they could see it, like, quiero un presupuesto basado en eso, quiero ir a tratarme allá en México, pero quiero más o menos saber, me pueden hacer un presupuesto, me pueden hacer, you know, so that you got to talk to them. So no, we guys cannot recommend a doctor for you to go get surgery. Definitely not. My grandparents passed away in California, but my uncles took them to Mexico as they wish. What evidence do I need? They passed away in California and they took them to Mexico. It's their, like, a death certificate that you can get from them. I don't really understand that question, honestly. Passed away in California, but my uncles took them to Mexico. Okay, so you want to go pay your respects because they were taken to Mexico. So you would explain that, their death certificate. Pide también un registro de donde los enterraron. You gotta come up with that evidence. Yeah, that's what I would do. Donde los enterraron y que te puedan dar el registro de eso donde los enterraron. So, sí, le mandé. Okay. So, si el name de mi grandpa is in the birth certificate, ya no necesito el certificado de él. No sé de qué hablas. Claro que sí, porque you want, like, no necesitas el de tus parents, pero sí necesitas el de tu papá. You have to demonstrate de la carta del doctor que tú agarraste es para el paciente que tiene el certificado de nacimiento y tú estás relacionada con él porque tu certificado de nacimiento lo tiene. So, necesitas el del paciente, al familiar que vas a ir a visitar, Belén, Elda, pero no necesitas el de tu mamá o de tu papá porque ya está tu abuelito en tu certificado de nacimiento. So, yes, you would need that, Elda. Quiero hacerlo por segunda vez. AP, pero esta vez lo quiero hacer yo sola. Okay, esa no es una pregunta, ¿verdad? Awesome. My grandpa passed away 25 years ago. She was like my mother to me. Can I use that for Advance Parole? Yes, but como hablamos hace ratito, vas a necesitar algo extra porque obviamente tiene más de 2 años y necesitarías la carta de evaluación. Digo, la carta de Celebration of Life Mes y tenemos una sample of what that looks like on the Spanish Streamers Grupito. In el file section, go to the file section. If you guys already saw the workshop, you know how to use the file section. So go to that one on the group, and you can see that sample. Thanks. Okay. Okay, she got it. So I got my COVID vaccine back in 2020. Do I need Johnson and booster? No. Aunque estemos vacunados, no necesitamos por ahorita todavía el booster. I want to do humanitarian reasons, but once I'm over there, Mexico, I have the opportunity to get them to work. Would I be able to use like multiple entries in my form? Should I put more than 120 in that case? Also, if I do get approved for multiple entries for humanitarian reasons, do I have to show proof each time I leave? You will not receive multiple entries unless you can prove like the dental reasons when you apply. So like you wouldn't go and get dental work and get the proof and then get multiple. Es cuando aplicas. So si quieres hacer humanitaria razón por trabajo dental, le pones para múltiples, como dices, y ya depende de ellos si te van a aprobar o si no te van a aprobar los multiple entries y cuántos días te dan. Tú le puedes poner 120 days o le puedes poner 307 todo el año, 375 days, o le puedes poner 180, lo que tú quieras. Pero ya depende de ellos si te van a aprobar. Como mencioné hace ratito, nosotros lo único que podemos hacer como aplicantes, nosotros les demostramos con evidencia the need for this multiple entries, but they decide if they if they do it, if they actually approve us. For dental, there are more possibilities that you're going to get approved for multiple, so I would put the whole year. If my last entry was brought, it's going to be an issue. No, it actually would be amazing if you do Advance Parole because you entered illegally the last time, so that gives you the legal entry. Eso es exactamente fue yo me pasé por el río, chicos, yo me pasé por el río. Y una vez que hice Advance Parole, agarré mi entrada legal y entonces ahorita que ya me puedo peticionar a mi esposo, estamos haciendo mi ajuste de estatus adentro de los Estados Unidos en vez de salirnos y luego ir a Ciudad Juárez para la entrevista, lo vamos a tener aquí primeramente. So te da una entrada legal. Can I put, I will visit two different people, 2 different countries, one Salvador and one in Guatemala? Yes, you can try. If you have 2 reasons and 2 evidence, you have to, because you want to travel to those 2 countries to see both of those, put them. I currently work part-time in travel agency. I need to help to the pilgrimage to Holy Land. Okay, that's awesome. I had lots of preguntas, pero viendo los lives and asking the Facebook group me ha ayudado. Creo que hemos done with my paquete. Ah, that's amazing. Esta ya hasta le contesté. Estuve viendo todas esas preguntitas and it was awesome. I was like, this comment took me out. I don't have questions yet. Okay, awesome. So andamos tan perdidos. No questions at the moment. No questions at this time. No questions at this time. Okay. Okay, sí, también te da miedo ir a Ciudad Juárez. That was also my motivator too. Tener mi cita para InfoPass. Después del InfoPass puedo aplicar para AP by mail for that same reason with the same evidence if they deny me InfoPass or if they approve. So, si a ti te niegan en tu InfoPass porque te dicen esto no es emergencia, tú tienes 2 opciones. Una, porque no te van a cobrar. Si no te la aprueban, no te van a cobrar. Entonces, tú tienes 2 opciones. La puedes mandar por correo, ¿ok? O la puedes volver a intentar con más evidencia para demostrar tu emergencia. Whatever you want. Okay. Mi razón es ir a visitar a mi abuelita porque ella tiene un marcapasos y ya no escucha. Es la única abuela que tengo viva y más porque ya van a cumplir 2 años que mi papá falleció. Pero él está aquí y pues llevar a mi hija que conozca a mi suegra porque ella también está enferma. No preguntas por el momento. Ok, awesome. That sounds like a solid case, honestly. Si tienen las pruebas de las cosas. Ok. Necesito ayuda traduciendo mis documentos. Chicos, todos los que necesiten ayuda traduciendo sus documentos porque sienten que, pues, que el inglés no está, ¿verdad? Que no están fluentes en los 2 idiomas o que están muy ocupados porque la tiro trabajan o you have a lot of stuff going on. Don't worry. We are going to have the ability for people to submit their documents if they want to pay a fee. Like, so si tú quieres pagar, prefieres pagar por tu servicio en vez de hacerlo, se va a poder. Vamos a tener súper barato y lo vamos a hacer para las personas que están en el bootcamp. I'm going to be overseeing all those translations and making sure they're good. Suri y Belen will be helping me with that. Yo pienso que va a tener un precio como de $20 o algo así por documento. So definitely that's going to be one of the things that are going to be available. Pero yo les quiero enseñar una demostración de cómo hacerlo, porque muchos de nosotros podemos hacerlo. It's just obviously tedious, it's, time consuming, pero si tú sientes como que no quiero pasarme, esas horas haciendo documentos because I got other stuff, that's fine. Don't let that be the reason that stops you. This is what the bootcamp is for. It's just to get everybody across every single step of the way, okay? Do you recommend sending the application with USPS or another carrier such as FedEx? And do you think PO Box is ever to use? No sé FedEx o PO Box, I wouldn't know. I always use USPS. Siempre uso USPS. Pero sí tengo tips on that, on sending. And we're going to be talking about that more when we're about to send. Pero déjenme decirles rapidito ahorita, por si hay gente que va a mandarlos antes. Do not send on weekend. Por ejemplo, no lo mandes en un viernes. Yo siempre mando en lunes. Porque by the end of the week, I already know if it arrived or not. Okay? Y porque siempre estamos bien nerviosos. Queremos saber si llegó o no. So send it on Mondays. And then the other, do not send on holidays. Around holidays, siempre van a estar super busy, no nada más USPS, pero todos los carriers, so they may lose your package. They're just extra busy. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put yourself in that position. Ahorita que viene like febrero 14, no empieces a mandar cosas de febrero a febrero 14, de febrero 1 a febrero 14. It's like a really bad time to be mailing out these important documents, okay? Personal preference. Ok, ¿cómo van los comentarios? No miro ningún comentario, solo les estoy contestando acá, ¿ok? Porque los tengo en la otra computadora y no sé si va slow o es porque no han puesto nada. I don't know. Yeah, okay, let's refresh. No questions, no questions, no questions. Informative workshop. Yo, that's awesome. I want to apply to customer grade, the grade from grandparents, okay? I want to apply to see the grandparents' grave, visit the Sincan, no questions at the moment. Amazing. Okay, so tampoco tenemos. To visit grandparents' grave, do I also need their birth certificate or just their birth certificate? I think we have covered this a lot of times today, but because it's such a important question, I just want to make sure that everybody understands. La evidence que tú agarres para el familiar que vas a ir a visitar, the evidence that you got of the family member who's sick that you're going to go visit, you have to also prove that that person is related to you. So the way you're going to do it is by providing their birth certificate and your birth certificate. And if that too doesn't prove it enough, you might have to bring your mother into it or your dad into it to make sure you make that chain. Okay? So ya lo hemos explicado varias veces, so nomás quería otra vez. No questions at this time. ¿Puedo hacer una misa en honor a mis padres aunque no sea una fecha de aniversario? Sí. Quiero ir a ver la tumba de mi abuelito, pero mi tío solo tiene el acta de defunción, no se encuentra su acta de nacimiento. Yo creo, pero yo tengo una carta de mi padre. Puedes agarrar el acta de nacimiento, como mencionamos en el consulado, pero el acta de defunción también te funciona. Okay. Can I request 365 multiple entries if I had 3? You can request multiple entries if you want, but they'll probably want you to pay every single time you're going to do because it's not the same reason for the same needs of travel. So si fueras a agarrar una surgery or dental work, it's the same reason and you need to travel for the same. But you can definitely try because there's some officers que están bien buena gente. One lives a few hours ago. Yeah. See, I hear you, and I would totally love it if they would allow us to do that. But most of the times they will not do multiple entries for separate reasons. Okay. Like if they were in a different country, maybe a lo mejor te pidan o te aprueben para ir, pero no multiple, o a lo mejor te aprueben para multiple, pero in very close time, like 3 months. Mirado eso también. So it just really depends on the officer. But you can definitely try. There's no harm in trying. No tengo preguntas. Application. Should any be notarized? I definitely suggest that you send a translation of the certification statement, like notarize it that you translated correctly, and then the sworn affidavit, notarize it that you're saying the truth. But it's up to you. It's not a requirement. Y la razón por la que digo eso es porque para mí, this is all about making the case like super solid. So obviously notarizing, like makes it look more solid, like you're definitely like, you went above and beyond to let them know what the truth is, So, como les dije, cuando están así de largas, lo que tienes que hacer, le pones ahí en el cursor donde está y le vas a poner Alt, Enter. And then again, Alt, Enter. Alt, Enter. Alt, Enter. Because me doing this for every single person gets time consuming, but you doing it for your own question it's nothing. It goes like this. So that I can make sure and see the entire question, guys. Can I request humanitarian parole to visit my great grandmother, or can it be, or does it have to be grandma? It doesn't have to be grandma. It has to be close familial relationship. That's how they describe it on the site. So eso puede ser mamá, papá, ha sido abuela, ha sido hasta tíos. Solamente que tú tienes que decir por qué esta persona la consideras alguien muy cercano a ti. Y si tu grandma, por ejemplo, te ayudó she raised you or stuff like that she was super important for you, or that she is super important to you, that's what you're going to explain. Entonces, ¿el death certificate se ocupa o no? Si vas a visitar a la tumba de un ser querido, obviamente vas a ocupar el death certificate. That's part of your reason. Yes. Can I include 2 humanitarian reasons? I want to visit a sick grandmother, as well as graves of dead parents. Yes, you can include 2 humanitarian reasons as long as they're not for emergency. If you're going to go into emergency, they have to only be emergency. Mi razón para AP es humanitaria, para visitar la tumba de mi abuelita que falleció hace 4 años. I get another fee. If I get another fee and need celebration of life mass, I wouldn't be during her death anniversary. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. Y también aplicar para visitar a abuelitos de mi esposo. Su abuelito falleció hace 1 año. Tu esposo también puede ser una evidencia para ti. Tú puedes ir a visitar, para ir con tu esposo a visitar la tumba de su abuelito que falleció hace 1 año y no vas a necesitar a ver fee. Y su abuelita sigue viva. Y su abuelita sigue viva, pero tiene varias enfermedades. Puedes ir a visitarla a ella. Sí, tendré que, pensé primero que había fallecido, pero dices que está enferma. Eso te sirve también a ti para ir con tu abuelo. Y ya de ahí puedes ir a visitar la abuelita que falleció también. Tendré que buscar otras razones o serán estas razones suficientes. ¿Qué parece tareas para mi esposo? Sobre I-131 tenía una pregunta. Después de casarme cambié un apellido. En mi Social Security tengo un apellido con DACA. No está renovado. Entonces apellidos pongo en la aplicación soltera o casada. Si tú te cambias tus apellidos, en la aplicación tú pones tus legal names. Cuando tú vas a recibir la pregunta viene acerca del passport, right? Porque tiene tu apellido de cuando naciste. Eso no lo cambian. I think there's a way to, but I don't know. It's really complicated. I don't know how to add the hyphen and stuff like that. Pero cuando yo me preguntaron, me decían que no, que así estaba bien. Y lo que puedes hacer es llevarte, pues obviamente, cuando viajes tu marriage license, porque por eso cambió tu nombre. Entonces, that's a super quick way that you would demonstrate. Pero para tu volar, tú vas a necesitar tu passport, que va a traer tu nombre, para necesitar tu Advance Parole para entrar, y tú puedes demostrarlo con tu licencia de marriage cuando cambias tu nombre o X cosa. Y tu current ID que tiene tu legal name. So you'll be able to demonstrate that it's you. Okay? And then regarding the visitar la tumba que falló hace 4 años, si necesitas una celebration of life mass, it's going to depend on them. Definitely you will, so you can actually already send it like that, con la celebration of life mass, porque ya sabes que tiene más de 2 años y te la van a pedir. Y también para aplicar a visitar, yo diría, tú tienes la oportunidad de aplicar para ir a visitar a la abuelita de tu esposo, que tiene muchas enfermedades. Eso puede ser la razón tuya también. Okay. Y for you, I would really recommend that you watch the bootcamp, porque suena como que no lo viste. Okay. I know that you put here that you did, but your questions sound like you might have not. So definitely check otra vez la parte de evidence en el bootcamp para que puedas clear that out. No que si ya estoy bueno for la nicaragüense passport. Ay, el nicaragüense tarda un chingo. Okay, do I have to get COVID shots? Are they a must? Did you watch the workshop? Yes. No tengo emergencia, pero extraño a mi mamá, que vivió 22 años, que fue cirugías médicas el año pasado. You need education, professional, humanitarian. No questions. So very thankful. Aprendí que si no te aprueban en InfoPass, no tienes que pagar la aplicación. Yes. There's no harm in trying. If you think you have an emergency, you should definitely try it. Main question, dice, now is of what evidence would I need to apply for humanitarian based on grandpa's grave after 10 years? And now my mom passed here in the US, and I'm not sure if it's relevant. Ya hablamos acerca de eso. O sea, si tú vas a visitar la tumba de un ser querido, ya sea que sea abuela, abuelo, es lo mismo, o mamá o papá, necesitas la acta de difunción, necesitas, si tienes el certificado de nacimiento, si lo puedes conseguir, that's also a really good evidence to prove that there was a familiar relationship. And I don't know about your mom, because she passed away here and you're trying to go somewhere else. So I wouldn't know that that's something that is relevant to your application. But yeah, it would be the same thing that we have mentioned for the visiting the grave of a loved one. como les dije, Alt, Enter. Okay. We received a letter regarding some of the medical conditions my grandfather has. Metastatic cancer. Okay. Would it be possible reason to apply for emergency advance parole? Due to his age, the treatment will be provided. This is key. ¿Cuánto tiempo le dan a tu abuelo? Esa es la question también. I wanted to apply for multiple entries to be with him and take care of him, but my DACA expires in June. Mm-hmm. So 3 things on this one actually. So if I was you, I would try emergency. Si tienes una medical evaluation letter que diga eso, ¿verdad? Que due to his age, treatment will be possible, le dan tantos meses o le dan tanto tiempo. Eso, a lo mejor te ayude. Y si no, pues ya la mandas por correo, si no te la aprueban por emergencia. No te van a dar, pero tienes que decidir esto. So the second thing you have to decide is, si tú quieres estar en emergency advance parole, no te van a dar multiple entries. Maybe like once I have heard that they gave more than 30 days and multiple entries to someone, but it's super rare. They're not going to give you multiple entries in emergency. And most people only get approved for 30 days or less when it's an emergency. They don't usually approve for more. Sometimes they do, but it's super rare. I wanted to apply for multiple entries. Okay. If your DACA, so the third thing, if your DACA expires on June, if you get approved for emergency, you would be approved that day of your application, so you could technically go and come back before June and you're fine. Pero si no, si lo vas a mandar por correo, you should definitely send your DACA renewal first and then your application so that your DACA can be on time and ready to be here by the time you need it. Okay. Tengo aseguranza dental, pero la única opción para pedir es por visitar las tumbas de mis abuelas. ¿Qué puedo hacer? Cancelar mi aseguranza y pedir estimado. I don't know. You would have to think about that. That's not for me to decide. If you have insurance and no pagas nada con insurance, that wouldn't be your reason to prove humanitarian. You just have to either get creative or think of other reasons. Okay, so lo voy a poner aquí. Okay, esas son las que I can get information on the person that recommended translate documents. I'm gonna be, yes, people are actually, I have a form for people to submit their translated documents that they want to translate, and I'm gonna be sharing about that next week. I don't have anybody that has been through this. I already have a perdón for AOS. My husband is still pidiendo and I'm waiting. I'm not going to be talking about AOS today because I will forever confuse people. But you can definitely send me a text with those specific questions about your husband. And if I know, I'll let you know. Can I add the same application in different further date? One will be humanitarian and the other will be work, educational related. Is it possible to travel 2 times in 1 year? They will not give you multiple entries for unrelated reasons for travel most of the times, but you can try. And all that 2 times or whatever, that depends on the officer. It doesn't even depend on you. Okay. Si quiero ponerme como razón de hacer mi AP dental, mi pregunta es, ¿importa que tenga aseguranza? Otra vez lo de la aseguranza, eso depende de ustedes. Y recuerden que dental no es una razón para aplicar para Advance Parole. La razón es educación, profesional y humanitaria. Entonces, nosotros metemos la de dental como humanitaria, so you got to prove that it's humanitarian. And if you cannot prove that, it's really hard that you're going to be approved. But if you can prove it because of financial reasons, then you have a better case. Okay. Anything that you have regarding, okay. So, esa ya le contesté a ella. Este también le contesté ya a ella. And this one también ya le contesté. So I went on with like comments to answer the ones that I could. I don't know what these people did, but I think they put their name on comments. Guys, do not do this. Todas estas, pongan, like, escríbanlo aquí. Don't do the comments because I cannot see them and you're not going to be entered on the giveaway because I'm going to be dragging everything because y esa es la otra razón que les estoy explicando esto, chicos, porque I'm not going to be going through more work to make sure that your attendance gets low. You're going to have to, you'll go and do the necessary work to make sure that your attendance is here so that when I do this, copy, paste on your names, you're there. So remember, you have one option to miss, and then everybody else gets drawn into this. Like todos los que tengan perfect attendance, que hagan miss nada más one, they'll still be counted. So if this week you kind of like messed up, that's fine. Make sure that you're on it for all the other ones, because all these I cannot. Okay. En estos, todos los que pusieron su nombre, su número, I made a copy, so I have it. Okay. So you're going to be added on that. Okay. So yes, make sure that you treat the attendance, ¿cómo se dice? Con cuidado for your own sakes, because I'm not going to be making sure that people's attendance is fine. I'm just going to be doing my part in grabbing everybody, seeing the questions, preguntitas, and making sure, like, I cannot baby people. So this is why I'm explaining. Esto yo lo voy a hacer copy paste. That's what I'm going to be doing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this so that I can see the comments real quick. Mejor. Y déjenme saber en los comentarios si quieren que les enseñe otra vez cómo hacerlo del attendance. Because it's really important. I am not going to go like, I'm making sure, a ver, esta chica sí se contó. No, no. Esto no es para darme más jale a mí. Es para que ustedes me demuestren a mí que están participando. It's your responsibility. I'm throwing the baton back at you. Okay, so díganme ahorita si quieren que les demuestre otra vez. Go ahead and remove this one. Y yo creo que ya cubrí todas las del log. I know that this one was a really heavy one because the evidencia es la parte más crucial y más importante de nuestro application process. So I wanted to make sure and go through every single question. And I know that it was a lot, but it was really important. Thank you for answering my question from the spreadsheet. Yay. Okay. So están nuestras preguntas. Pregunto porque aquí. Pues no te entiendo. When there are multiple reasons, es mejor incluirlas todas or wait to see if you get approved and then try another one. You can definitely wait to see if you get approved, or you can do the other, whatever you prefer. It's up to you, honestly. Pero in what I have seen, es como que es nuestro trabajo demostrarle al oficial que queremos ir por educación, profesional o humanitaria. ¿Cómo le haces? Get creative, pero it just depends, right? You can do it in many ways. Pero es tu trabajo demostrarle con evidencia que tú calificas por una de esas tres razones. So if you feel that your case is a little weak, I don't know what your cases are, and you have two reasons, and you want to include both of them because you feel like, oh, if I just put one, it's not going to be, it's honestly, it's a little bit, I'm reaching, put both of them. So I have different parents who are very sick that live in different parts of Mexico with different reasons. I want to let those well. Those are all, they sound like the reasons. Entonces el death certificate se ocupa, ¿no? Si vas a visitar a un familiar que está fallecido, obviamente necesitas el death certificate. Y obviamente necesitas también el certificate de nacimiento, si lo tienes. Si no lo tienes, pues, that's fine. Pero si lo puedes agarrar, también, porque eso comprueba la family relation. O sea, que esa persona que falleció es de tu familia o X cosa. But I have seen people that get approved without it. Y sí, es la verdad. Y todo lo de las actas de defunción y registros civiles o actas de nacimiento, en el consulado mexicano se puede. Yo no sé, otros consulados, la neta, nunca me he metido, no sé, pero sí se puede con el cónsul. Ok. Let's go. I use a different name in WhatsApp y aquí. Would that be a problem? Elda. Let me show you. I don't know what the problem would be. Pero for this, for the attendance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose all the WhatsApp names. I'm going to put in todas las personas que llegaron. I'm going to log them. Y todas las personas que contaron su participación. And the people that enter are going to be those that, you know, stayed participating. Y luego voy a contactar a la persona de WhatsApp con ese nombre. So it is your responsibility to make sure that I'm able to contact you, if you're one of those 3 people. I don't know if that's your question, but that's how I can explain it, okay? Because I'm not going to be like, obviously, I'm not going to be like, oh, ¿cuál es la Ana? No, I'm going to get the name and last name or username that you use in WhatsApp. So si quieren ponerse, no sé, chiquita 39, no sé, lo que tú quieras ponerte único, también se puede. Just make sure that I have a way to find you easily on the group, en el WhatsApp group que tenemos en el bootcamp, y que miro el ganador, lo busco aquí en el WhatsApp y les digo, hey, ganaste, you know? Thank you for answering the question. De nada, Víctor, pásenlo barrido. Ok, entonces, son todas las preguntas que puedo contestar por el día de hoy porque ya se me secó la boca, chicos, ya se me secó la boca. Pero fue una sesión súper, súper buena. La evidencia es lo más importante. Make it a point that this week get your evidence. Más tardar next week. I would say definitely get it as soon as possible, guys, because you got to be translating now. Like once you receive it, now you got to translate. So definitely use this time to call, make that call that you need to do. I hope that after the conversation that we had today, that you understand that you're not the only one that feels like that. Like, oh, ¿cómo le hago para conseguir mis cuotas? Yo no te voy a venir a conseguir las cuotas. El abogado tampoco te va a conseguir las cuotas del dental o de la LASIK. You have to do that. So it's better now that you're, trying to learn this, but you also have to do the most important part, which is getting your evidence. So it is, you're going to be your responsibility this week, if you don't have the evidence yet, to make that call, to make that appointment, to call that family member, to call that consulado, to do whatever it is that you need to do, depending on whatever evidence that you want to provide for your reason, to get your documents on a roll para que los puedas tener listos para tu aplicación. Okay. La evidencia, there can never be enough solid evidence, right? Nuestro trabajo de aplicante, cuando estamos aplicando para USAID, es poner un beautiful case to where the officer who reviews your case sees it and understands that you qualify for advance parole based on your evidence. Cuando tienen preguntas, es because, the job was chafa. The case was not as solid. So tu trabajo es hacer esa shit bulletproof. So get that evidence, get as much as you can, as much as you are able to do so, to prove your case. That's really what it comes down to. Yo sé que lo estoy diciendo así como que, like, obviously it's common sense, but yes, that's our job. Like, como aplicantes, es nosotros demostrarle con papelito a la persona que está revisando nuestro caso que nosotros debemos de estar aprobados based on our evidence. And that's it. Ya putting it together, putting it in order, eso como vieron en el workshop, you're going to be able to do it because you can literally just follow along. We're going to be checking for that. But when it comes to evidence, that's something that you definitely just have to do it. You have to get the evidence, okay? Para recalcar, no puede ser evidencia del año pasado. Tiene que ser algo reciente, algo que demuestre tu necesidad for travel now. So if you're going to send by mail, 3 months, 2 months, and 1 month is fine. We're going to be shooting to send our applications latest by the first week of March. So you're good to get your evidence now as we speak, okay? Las personas que ya tenían su evidencia, que la agarraron hace un mes, 2 meses, you gotta hurry up with your case, okay? Next week, we're going to be talking about translations, so don't worry about that. If you feel like you cannot do them, that's fine, guys. Like, esto es para quitarle las roadblocks que a lo mejor pudieran salir. Esto no es para poner roadblocks. So if you feel like you can't do your translations and you prefer to pay, that's going to be fine. We're going to be having a system for that. If you have your evidence and you want to start sending them over, we can do that and we can work it out, especially if you're going to do emergency and you're trying to get it as soon as possible. That would be another thing, okay? We're going to be discussing translations next week. So, yeah, any questions that you guys have, there's going to be one day during this week that I'm going to tell the group, like, okay, send me your questions. I have time right now. No me manden las preguntas at random times because I don't always have availability to be on my phone answering the messages. Pero cuando yo lo tengo, yo les voy a poner, okay, today. Because I'm going to see my agent. I'm going to be like, oh, today I have time. I can be answering them. So wait for that shout out so that you can make sure that yours doesn't get lost through the feed. Because, guys, people can just text. So I don't really answer those if I'm not available. pero el día que les digo, voy a contestar todas las que entren ese día. Entonces, wait for that so that you can make sure that yours gets answered, if that makes sense. Y si me miran así on, like logged on, send it, because I'll probably like answer it right away because I'm logged in el WhatsApp. Las preguntas del bootcamp van en el bootcamp. All the questions for the bootcamp should be on the WhatsApp because I want to confuse everybody over there. So those are getting declined, send them on the bootcamp, please. The assignment, people have to log in their attendance. If you miss 2 in a row, that to me tells me you're not participating, you're not active, and you might get the boot. Okay, so definitely keep up with your attendance. If you guys, I'm here doing my end of the bargain, you gotta pull your weight. Okay, que para eso es el bootcamp, para arrearlos. Es lo que querías, es lo que tienes. Ok, entonces muchas gracias a todos, cuídense un chingo, nos vemos la próxima, les voy a estar mandando un mensaje ahorita acerca del